Hey guys, so this is the start of a new reading vlog. Sorry, my hand is like making this super jumpy, of reading A Shadow in the Ember, yes, by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I've been dying to read this, and I found a copy at Barnes & Noble, and they had early copies, so definitely go check that out if you want to read this book at your local B&B, Barnes & Noble, because mine had it, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna snag this so I can start reading it now. I'm super excited, and I'll up to you guys soon when I have something to update you with.
About to leave, already packing.
Hey guys, I look a little ragged right now, but I wanted to give you an update about A Shadow, excuse me, A Shadow in the Ember, and I am loving it so much. So I feel like the premise of the book doesn't really give a lot. So what this book so far is about, our heroine Sarah, she has been trained her whole life, and she's kind of been prophesized as this person to become the consort, which is like the wife, or like person for the primal of the death, or yeah, the primal of the death. And so there's a hierarchy in this world. So there are the primals, the gods, and then just like kings and queens and stuff. And so she has been trained her whole life. So she's been trained all her life to be the consort, and when she finally meets him, he rejects her. So that was really harsh for her, because she's been prophesied this whole time that if she becomes his consort, the rot in her kingdom will subside and go away. And so now, flash forward 3 years later, and the rot has still not gone away, and like her family blames her. Well, her stepbrother really blames her, and her mother just has never really shown that motherly love towards her that she deserved and needs as a young woman and a young girl. And so one night something happens where this like lord from these like a different part of the like continent or whatever comes to them seeking a marriage with her, and they give him like this horrible like trade or whatever. And so he comes back and like has killed like their like administrator person, and so she decides to kill him because she's also been trained her whole life to defend herself, because she's supposed to get like intel on the primal, but that was kind of confusing. I don't really understand that, but anyways, so she goes and kills the guy that killed like her like administrator person to the crown, and then she kills like his like friends, and then she sees these two gods dragging this like baby out of this random house and like killing it, and she tries to go stop it, and this dude kind of like saves her and stops her from doing that. And so that dude is our hero, and so it's really good, and they just keep running into each other over like the first like a third of the book, and it's really good. She reminds me a lot of Poppy. At first I felt like it was just gonna be like a retelling of From Blood and Ash. Like I thought that it was just going to be like another From Blood and Ash book, but it's not. But she's very feisty, and she likes to fight back against our hero, who he is actually a god, but later some things come out where he might not be a god, and I kind of saw that coming. But I really love it so far, and I'm almost to halfway, but not yet. And so some things were just revealed, and she is trying to, since she's been trained all her life to be with a primal, she's now trying to help her kingdom with the rot. There's no harvest and like good harvest, and so she's trying to get the crown to donate like food to the poor and like the middle class slash lower class. And like her stepbrother is evil. He's horrible, and he's like very like weird and creepy towards her, and he's like trying to like stop her from doing stuff, and he keeps blaming her for like the rot, but it's really not her fault. Like, just because she was born and like prophesized to do this, it doesn't mean it all has to be on her, kind of thing. And so he's really bad. I really don't like him. But the hero, of course, is Nikados. I don't know how to say his name. But what just happened was she finally like found out who he was, like the primal and the death, which is Nikados. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And it's the guy, it's like the god that she's been seeing like come up and stuff. And they had a moment at this like lake that she loves to go to, and it was so good. It's spicy. Oh my god, like this book is making me feel things, and I am absolutely loving it. It's kind of like a fresh start in this world again. It feels new and good. What I would have loved more if Jennifer L. Armentrout, especially from the From Blood and Ash series, maybe she just did like 2 books for Poppy and Cass and then moved on to a different couple, because I feel like I love that series, but I also kind of dread when it comes out, when a new book comes out, because they're just like in love. Like, there's no angst, there's nothing really happening except like the other plots in the book, like the action side of it and what's going on with Poppy's magic. But I'm trying to like figure out what the deal is with Serafina, if she's like indirectly related to Poppy because she has a lot of the powers that Poppy does. I don't know if that's going to come out. I feel like she is. That's a prediction of mine. But I'm really loving this. And Serafina, she was just taken with Nikados, but he, I don't want to give away some of the things, but they're going back to like the Shadowlands, which is like his realm and like where immortals go. And so it's really good so far, and she's kind of meeting his people and getting to know him, and it's kind of like, it feels like a marriage of convenience, but I think it's really, really good so far. I'm loving it. I love Serafina and how loyal and just courageous and brave she is, and how she really cares about her subjects, and she's really trying to help them, and it's not just letting things happen. But I think this also is a beginning of like the vampire things that we see in From Blood and Ash, and like how they're being turned into vampires, like with the ascension stuff, which is really interesting. And I wonder how they're gonna like bring that up. And like there are signs pointing to her that she might start becoming like a vampire. I don't know, but it's really interesting, and I'm really loving it so far. So I'll update you guys soon when I read some more. Hey guys, so I wanted to quickly update you. So I'm like, I have 100, maybe like 50 pages left of the book, and so she is just kind of trying to figure out things in this new world with Nikados. I don't know if that's how you even say his name. I know I said that earlier, but it's really bothering me. But something just happened where she went in these like woods that she's not supposed to be in, and she got like attacked, and he saved her with this like special like vial thing that is very rare, and you can never really find it, and he did it for her. And the people around him are kind of like, to her, like, he's never done this before with another woman. He's also a virgin, which I thought was really interesting, and that his reasoning behind that was because he never felt like he could let anybody close to him, which just like melted my heart. And like, she's getting close to him now, and it's really good so far. Right now there is a little bit of just a lot of talk right now in the book, and that happens in a lot of like the books in this series, like the From Blood and Ash series. There was like a lot of talk about magical creatures and stuff. And so also something that I really liked was that the author kind of distinguished Draken and dragons, because I never really knew the big difference between them. I thought a Draken was just a dragon, but just a cooler way to say it. But it's actually, Draken are people that are like half dragon and half like human, or like something like a human, and so they can change forms, which I thought was really cool, and I'd never been like explained that, so that's why I wanted to share it with you all. But I'm really liking it, and basically the deal that was set, both of them were kind of shoved into it. And he necessarily didn't at first want this deal for her to be his consort thing. And so that's really interesting. But then everybody's saying like he never wanted it, but now he's kind of thinking back like, well, now I got you. And so it's really interesting, and things are happening on the sidelines with these like creatures that seem like demented vampires, like the ones who ascend in From Blood and Ash. And it's really good, and I'm kind of still a little confused about the hierarchy. I'm pretty sure that Nikodos is a vampire because he has like fangs and stuff, and he has to like drink blood. But is this just like a vampire world and werewolf world where like there are different levels of hierarchy of vampires? Because that's what I'm wondering. I'm still confused about that. But I did forget to say that when I was starting the book in the beginning, it was a little slow at first. But then now I'm kind of like in the throes of it, and I am really loving it. Yeah, that's all I have to update you guys on right now. It's so good so far. I might even love this couple more than Poppy and Cass, and I feel like Sarah really just she does some impulsive things, but she also really listens to Nikodos and why he says the things he says to her, why he asks her not to go certain places. And I really like it. It kind of almost feels like a little bit of Beauty and the Beast, but not a lot. Like, it's not like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's just right now with the situation that's happening. Feels like it. I wonder where it's gonna go. Right now they're just kind of like talking about the world, and she's asking lots of questions. But I do want to say though that I feel like Seraphina and Poppy are very, very similar. Like, they could be sisters. I don't know if she did that on purpose, or she just knows that people like those type of characters because people love Poppy so much. But I kind of wish she did switch it up a little bit. But it's not saying that I don't love that character. I do. I don't know. I personally really like it, but I feel like people have a problem with that. Like, they're very similar. Like, they're both like kind of stabby like women. Like, they are both trained. They both have the same powers. They both kind of have the same sense of humor. I don't know. So I can't really tell any differences between Poppy and Seraphina right now. They almost feel like the same person to me, but and Nikodos kind of feels a lot like Cass, like his dry humor, his sarcasm. So I don't know. I am really enjoying it, but sometimes at moments I feel like it's like kind of just a copycat of From Blood and Ash, but it's like some things are altered for a different story. But I'm still loving it. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of weird. If you've read it yet, or going to read, if you've read it yet, definitely let me know if you have these same feelings. It's not that I'm really loving the book. It's just that, it feels a lot like From Blood and Ash, not necessarily the plot, but like the characters. But yeah, I'm really liking it, and it's very interesting seeing like him talk about the gods and the primals, because I feel like we don't really get to see that in From Blood and Ash. We see a little bit of it, but we don't really get that history and that backstory. And the way like the primals are set up is that they're like kind of the kings and queens of courts, and then it seems like, in like United States, like governors and stuff, it's like, it's so random, but it feels like the governors are then the gods, and then the mayors of like towns or counties are like the king and queens. Like Sarah's mother is like the queen of, I don't remember, it's like Wayland or something with a W. But that's kind of the hierarchy that I'm imagining right now. Like, that the primals are like the president, and then it's like the gods are like the governor, and then the king and queens are like the mayors of like the town. It just seems like that. But I am very excited to read this. I wonder if in this series they're going to continue on with this couple. I just hope they don't like drag it out so much like she did with From Blood and Ash, because I love that couple, but their story, like, it feels like the story, like the side plot, like their romance feels concluded. Like, they're at a really good spot, I think I remember correctly. But with like now, with like the side plot of like the action stuff, like that's not finished yet, so she has to do like another book, you know? So I don't know. I hope she doesn't drag out their relationship, Nikodos and Serafina's, because that would be really sad. But if she does it in a certain way, I'd be happy with it. But I just hate when series especially drag out relationships just because of the action on the side. Like that happened with the Laura Thalassa series, like the Bargainer series. Like I feel like the romance was very like solid and good even in like book 2, and it just kept going on because of the sideline action that was happening because it was a fantasy book. So I hope that doesn't happen with Nikodos and Serafina, but I really love them, and it's really good so far. Hey guys, so I wanted to let you know that I finished A Shadow in the Ember, and I loved it. I'm giving it 5 stars. So the ending was very epic, but some things that happened were that there would be like some big action, and then like they'd all talk about it and analyze it, and then there'd be another big action, which I got kind of annoyed with, like them just like kept talking and talking, but I really enjoyed it. Some big secrets came out at the end. And so now I'm going to move into the spoiler part of this video. So I'm going to put spoilers right here. So let's get into it. So the first thing I really wanted to talk about was just like, she was supposed to, you know, kill Nikodos, or Ash. I'm just going to call him Ash now. Ash, and he was very mad at her like the whole book, which is understandable, but I felt like it got kind of annoying. Like I felt like he didn't understand where she was coming from. Like she had been trained her whole life to do this, and she didn't know any better, and like now she's different, and she knows she's you know, like from her emotions and what she's done for your people, that she would never do that again. And I found it very annoying that he was still so mad at her, but then there'd be like fleeting moments where he would just let it go and they'd be together. And there was this one steamy scene where he was super mad at her, and he like bit her, and they did some stuff, and it was really good. But I'm still connected because, I mean, not connected. I'm still confused. Like, there's this primal that came in, like Lady Penelope. Is that, I don't know, is that relation to Poppy in the future? There were references to Poppy and Cass in the future from when they did their thing with like the areas or the aerials. And are they going to be like, because of what they said, like be forced to love each other? But I feel like they already do. But I feel like he's going to be like, no, I don't love you, or whatever. But I felt like the end was drawn out a little bit. I felt like there didn't need to be so much in the middle. Like it was just her roaming around and being stuck in like her chamber or whatever. But I'm really interested to see. I really liked learning about his past and like what happened with his father and his like twin brother Colas, and I thought it was interesting, but I kind of saw it coming. There were hints here and there about her being like the primal of life's like long lost love, like Seratina. I thought that was interesting, but I did kind of see that coming with like that fight scene with like the Cressa girl and the Mattis, who was like her brother or whatever. But I really enjoyed it. I think my favorite part was probably like the lake scene, because I felt like they really opened up and we didn't really get to see that anymore. I mean, they did open up to each other, but not as much as they did there. And I hope like this conflict with her and him, like him not believing her, or like not like loving her because she was there to kill him or whatever. I mean, it sounds bad, but like I feel like it was dragged out really, really long. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I think I'm going to give this 4.5 stars, but run it up to 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I think I like it even more, a little bit more than Poppy and Cass. I just really loved her character. Serafina, she really came out, and it was really cool to see how open-minded she was. And she kind of like realized like all these things that she was told weren't like real, or weren't things that like they weren't it wasn't the whole truth, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I really liked Ash's character, which is Nikodos. And I thought he was very interesting, and I loved the Drakens. Oh my gosh. The little girl Draken, she was so cute, and I just hope we see more of them. And I really enjoyed this overall, but I hope that she doesn't drag out their romance in their series just to get more books out of it. I don't know, but I really enjoyed this one, and I'm so excited for the next book, which I can't believe is coming out in March. I feel like that's so soon, but I love this one, so I highly recommend it. It's great, and you don't really even have to read Poppy and Cass's story, like From Blood and Ash, to understand this one. But I really loved it. I felt like there were more twists and turns in From Blood and Ash that I didn't see coming, but in this one I did see a couple of them coming, but it was still really good. So I highly recommend this one. Definitely go check it out. It was really good. And that is the end of this vlog. Ooh. I hope you enjoyed watching me blab on and on about this book, and I really enjoyed it, so definitely go check it out, and I will see you guys later.